Welcome back, bogies. Part 2 of our race car build track day. We've got a lot to do still. Okay, just check the video's running. We're running. So yeah, chopped the roof off last time, made ourselves a convertible. We've got a hell of a lot more to do. I've got to try and find where to dump this stuff. We're going to just work on the back end today, see if we can just get that trimmed down a bit more, just so we've got something manageable and to work with. Seats have got to come out, we've got the windscreen, dash, everything's got to come out. So yeah, making these conversions is not simple, whichever way you do it, whether you do it completely manufacture everything yourself or you use a donor vehicle. It's still a hell of a lot of work, and fingers crossed I don't give up. So we've done a few before, not exactly like this, so this is always a new adventure with a slightly new donor car. But we'll just see how it goes, you know. It's a bit of a laugh, isn't it? You guys watch along and learn from my mistakes. So yeah, let's put the camera down. I forgot my tripod and any time-lapse stuff, so I'll just check back in a minute and how we've done on the back end and if we've cropped up any problems. Okay, did a little bit of easy stuff, got all the boot floor out, the liners out, the side panels, before we start cutting too much. Obviously you really don't know the exact lengths I'm doing anything at the moment, so hopefully just trying to cut things oversized. We do know that a Mini doesn't have much overhang on the back, so a lot of this from there back will go. Again, we're going to not need any of that panel there, any of that. Might keep the inner wings, inner arches, if I can, if it all works well. The key thing is on any of these conversions, and I think you might have seen it with the old Project Binky if you haven't checked out their videos, is that modern cars are a lot wider. So basically the distance between these two top strap mounts, it can be wider than the back part of a Mini, and that's where it can cause you problems. I think with Project Binky, obviously they fabricated all their stuff from scratch, which was bloody brilliant. But they also tilted them in by about an inch or so, I think, and slotted the bottom hole, I think, on the McPherson strut to allow the struts to be angled slightly more, but allowed it to fit inside a Mini. Fingers crossed I'm not hoping to do that, but we just don't know until we actually do some proper measurements. But for now anyway, the progress is we just keep stripping it. The other option I have got is just to widen the Mini shell by a couple of inches. Which makes things a hell of a lot easier in certain areas, but then makes more things complicated. But again, we'll just see on that once we get a bit closer to the time. As you can see the panels I'm trying to get to. Basically, this is going to be one of the panels maybe, but I might even get rid of this in the end because it's only a footwell, so it might be better to pick it flat. But you can see where it's joined along here with the spot wells. Eventually we'll get right down to those levels. So there's a little panel here that joins and goes over the fuel tank. Fuel tanks there, these are the two fuel pumps. Because it's four-wheel drive, it's got a tank that goes over both sides. So you have a feeder pump that pumps and levels it all, and you have a main pump that pumps to the engine. And so basically, yeah, we're going to get down to these levels, get down to the spot weld levels, and get down, and then we can split the floor apart. But before we do that, we'll be taking some measurements, but also some guides to help us put it back together correctly or as straight as possible. But until the car's anywhere near a floor, I can't do that anyway. So yeah, let's get the reciprocating saw and see if we can chop any of this back off and make it fit in the unit. Okay, chop the two corners off. I'm just going to try and trim across the back now if I can. There's quite two big box sections that run sort of the back of the car, obviously impact bars, where bumpers mount, etc. So a bit tough to get through them, but once we're through them, we'll just shorten the back by a foot or so just to make it a bit easier to manhandle. We've got all the outer skins to come off yet, and obviously cleaning up a lot of the inner skins. As I said, we'll leave the inner wheel arches right to the last moment and to see whether we can reuse them or remake them or do whatever, you know, because they're in the right job. As long as we don't have to tilt the struts in anymore, we won't have to modify them, but again, we won't know that until... Okay, apologise, I think the battery went flat halfway through that, so I don't know what's going on with this phone, but anyway, yeah, So in between that, while the battery is charging, we've chopped off an accurate foot to 14 inches off the back of it, and it now fits in the unit, which is good. Fingers crossed. So you can see the big box section there, which we can reuse and add strength to later. All part of the rear floor will be. So yeah, it's getting there. So that's the back trim down. As I said, got to take the outer skins off, trim down the inner skins. This is a bit slightly different bulging on the arch there, because that's where the fuel filler cap goes in and underneath to the fuel tank. But yeah, it's getting trimmed up. So taking the back seats out as well, and found a big pile of bolts, which I must have been using this car as just a tip. So anyway, got to clean all that up, and then we've moved forward slightly, take out the door pillars, and then the big job, which is a bloody windscreen, trying to get the windscreen out. Ideally, you need to pay someone to take all the glass out, would be ideal, and then you can just hack away. But I'm saving my 50 quid and trying to work out something else. So anyway, yeah, back trimmed up. Obviously, might need to neaten up the cuts a little bit before we weld it to the mini shell. But yeah, but we'll see. As I said, we might even get rid of this spare wheel well. We'll see. You know, we'll just see how it all goes. You can't really tell at this point until we lay a mini on shell. So let's do some more cutting and cleaning. Alright, didn't video that. So we're there, we're back. Got the front end to do still. But I need a 14mm spanner. I don't have all my tools down here. But anyway, back's all trimmed up. We're ready to take the front seats out. I started taking some of the dash out, what was left of it, because again we need to get right back to the floor. So yeah, all rear seats are out, loads of junk that I just need to get rid of. Car is full of panels and bits and bobs and crap. So off to the tip quickly and dump all that, and then hopefully we can get rid of the roof next week. We can get rid of the doors as well. They need to go down the tip. Bloody get rid of the tyres that they've given me as well, which I don't need. And so yeah, so a couple more sessions on this to try and get the shell, the body down to where we need it, and then we're able to then go fetch the mini shell and see what's actually going to fit and what isn't. So I might take some rough measurements before I go, just to give me something to think about during the week while I'm working on stuff in the Mark 1 and etc. And yeah, so yeah, odds are we're definitely going to have to come very close to the front end. This, you know, the mini front end is going to be like that. One option is to actually do a clubman front end, because there's a lot square around this area. I've got multiple options, so I'm just going to see what I want to do. Obviously we've got a tight deadline, so it's going to be whatever the quickest option is without not looking too bad. As I said, one option is to widen the shell, the other option is to do away with some of this. One other option I've thought about is lowering this, if it's in the way, lowering the strut by a couple of inches, get coilovers, which can be adjusted to compensate. I don't think this car's going to be the lowest of low. I'm just trying to, hopefully it's not going to look like a 4x4. So, but again, until we see, my dream is that this floor will match the mini floor, and we're going to use mini outer seals with maybe a bit of extra strengthening. Obviously it's going to be a roll cage later on anyway. And then yeah, these front cross members are going to be cut down quite far again. I don't think I'm going to even bother trying to get this in a standard van though. It's not like old Project Binky one on them. I've done it too many times before. It takes so much time to try and do it. I'm going to go sod it. We're just going to put an extended front end on for now. We can worry about it later. It's going to have quite a big butch stance look anyway, I'm hoping. So I don't think I'll notice too much. And then, yeah, most probably rad in the back. It'd be nice to have it in the front, but we'll see. But maybe just rad in the back for now, just to keep things, well, I say keep it simple for not extending the front too much more. But you then got to run water pipes to the back and get air to the rad at the back, and it's a pain in the arse as well. So if we can mount the radiator at the front, which is ideal. But anyway, we're well off that. So anyway, that's it for now. Off to the tip.